Okay, we're going to continue our discussion of categorical variables, or comparing two categorical variables. And in this example we have here, we have is this school called Fantasyland College, and the categorical variables we're interested in is gender versus, okay, so we call it admission status, whether or not these people were admitted to college. So if you look at the number 488, it's here in the table. What that means is there were 488 males who were admitted to the college. And if we look over here, next to it, there were 212 males that had applied but were not admitted to the college. And below are the similar corresponding numbers for females, here and here. All right, let's start answering some questions where you'll see we're going to yield surprising results at some point. All right, so find the percent of males admitted to Fantasyland College. Well, there are 488 males who were admitted, and there were 488 plus 212 who applied. So if we add that denominator together, those two numbers in the denominator, we get 700. And if we divide that, 488 divided by 700, we get about, well, pretty close to 70%. This is saying 70% of the males who applied were accepted to this college. All right, so let's look at females. See what happens there. All right, well, 278 were accepted out of a total of 278 plus 222 who had applied. And here we are, 278 out of 278 plus 222, 500. And if we divide that, 278 divided by 500 gives us about 55 or 56%. And say 55.6%, that's what it really is. Okay, so if we were to stop right here, we might say that if you were a male applying to Fantasyland College, that the probability of you getting in is higher. All right, but it turns out I know something about Fantasyland College. It's actually comprised of two separate schools. You can go to Fantasyland College to learn about business or about law. And what I also have for you is some more information. What you see here are the admission and denial counts for the business school that's part of this Fantasyland College. And then also you see the admission and denial counts for the law school, which is part of Fantasyland College. All right, so we're going to calculate some more statistics here. So if we look at this first question, saying find the percent of males admitted to the business school at Fantasyland College. Because we're just going to focus on the business school for now. 479 were accepted out of 479 plus 121 males who had applied. That comes to 479 over 600. And if we divide that, we get about 80%. Okay? So let's compare females now. So if we look at females at the business school, 179 were accepted out of a total of 179 plus 21 who applied. That's 179 over 200. And if we divide that, we get just about 90%. Okay. So we get this little thought. What we're noticing is that the relationship between the percentages of males and females who were admitted in the business school is the opposite of the direction of the relationship in the combined college. So when we looked at the data combined, of the business and law schools combined together, it looked like men were more likely to get in. But when we look at just the business school, we notice that the females are more likely to get in when they apply by a 10% advantage. All right, let's consider the law school. So the law school, we're going to look at males who admitted. This doesn't look good, actually. We've got 9 males admitted out of 9 plus 91 who applied. So we have 9 over 9 plus 91, which is 9 over 100, or about, or definitely, exactly 9%. All right, so let's look at females. Females, it's 99 out of 99 plus 201. 99 were admitted over 99 plus 201 who had applied. And that gives us 99 over 300, which is just about a third, or 33%. Okay, now this should be really surprising to you, Because what you're noticing now is when you look inside just the law school, the percentage of females who applied and were accepted is higher than the percent of males who applied and were accepted. And then if you look in the business school, you see the same phenomenon, that the percentage of females who applied and were accepted is higher than the percent of males who applied and were accepted. But when we combine the data together, that relationship's reversed. This strange phenomenon actually has a name. It's called Simpson's paradox. Simpson's paradox states that even if a comparison holds true for several groups, a reversal in the direction of the relationship can occur when the data from the several groups is combined into one group. And here's the summative statements for that. Okay, so what we just witnessed with this Fantasyland College was an example of Simpson's paradox. Okay, and these statements sort of highlight here. You notice that within the law school and the business schools, the female acceptance rates were higher. That's what these first two sentences are telling us. And yet, when we combine them all into one thing, we put everything together, we notice that the female acceptance rate is lower. All right, so that has a name. It's called Simpson's paradox. The next question is, why did it happen? Well, to do that, we could take a look at this data. Okay, let's just look at the business school for a moment. One thing I noticed right away is if you look at the business school, a lot of males applied to business school. If you do 479 plus 121, you get 600, compared to just 200 females who applied. Okay, so it looks like a lot more males are applying to business school than females are. And let's make one other comment about this business school. If we look in total, we had 600 males apply, 200 females apply. That means 800 people apply to business school. And if we add up how many got accepted, we get 479 plus 179, we get 658. Well, if we divide those, we end up with 82%. So that means that 82% of the people who applied to business school were accepted. In other words, the business school is kind of easy to get into. All right, let's compare that. Let's do that same analysis over here for the law school. We look in the law school, here's what we notice. 100 males applied, but 300 females applied. So more females applied to the law school than males. It's the opposite relationship of the business school. Then additionally, if we add up how many people in total, like 300 females applied plus another 100 males, there's 400 people in total who applied to the law school. And then only 9 plus 99 got accepted. So if we do 9 plus 99, we get 108. If we divide that by 400, we get 27%. So the law school only has a 27% acceptance rate. So it's much harder to get into. So now I'm not convinced that this school is necessarily biased for one gender or the other. What it looks like is that the males, a much larger number of males applied to the easier school that was to get into. And then in the law school example, where there was a much lower acceptance rate, a lot more females applied there. And that was what enabled us to notice this reversal in the relationship when we combined the data together. Again, this is called Simpson's paradox. And I'll probably ask you another example to try on your own.